Hello and welcome everybody to today's Commodities Corner presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. Just before we get started, guys, a very quick disclaimer for you to have a quick look at before we get right into it. Okay, good. Right, so during today's session, guys, we will, of course, be covering live market analysis. We will be going through a complete watch list of trading opportunities, a forecast of where commodities are heading into the US session today, and as we head into next week, how we expect the markets to move. And of course, as always, we will be answering your questions and providing live support. So first of all, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading. We are internationally respected experts. Our analysis and our opinions on the metals, the energies, and the agricultural markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal, and of course, it's a pleasure to be here on Binary.com. Our team of experts has trained and mentored over 100,000 private traders from all over the world to increase their wealth and generate substantial income through commodities using our exclusive research-driven strategies. So for more information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please feel free to visit our website, which is at www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. So with that, guys, we will get into it. We've got a big announcement coming up today, this afternoon, which is going to be in 2.5 hours. I'm sure most of you are aware of this, but if not, Janet Yellen is speaking at 3 o'clock London time, and this is a very highly anticipated event today. We've seen the markets be a little bit quiet this week ahead of this, and this could really set the tone, certainly for the US session this afternoon and as we go into next week. So what do you need to know right now? Well, first of all, we've seen currently gold is holding on. So those of you who trade gold and silver, gold is currently holding on to a 4-week low, awaiting clues on the Fed rate hikes. We've seen gold continue to move within a range really over the last couple of weeks here between 1,365 to 1,310. We did see gold break down yesterday into a major supportive zone. However, it's managed to make back most of those losses from yesterday, and it's back up at $1,327 at the moment. So we're continuing to see this price structure ricochet between support and resistance. Gold edged higher on Friday as markets are bracing themselves for a speech by the Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen in the session, which is at 3 o'clock London time, which is being closely watched for clues on the direction of the US interest rates. The dollar has swayed back and forth, which we know is inversely correlated to gold and silver. As investors, they're awaiting Janet Yellen's speech. If Yellen chooses to retain a neutral tone, gold could remain caught in its recent range between 1,310 to 1,375, in which case there could be some nice opportunities today on gold. Now, we are expecting this event to be highly volatile. We are expecting some big moves off the back of this. As such, I will go through analysis with you on gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and oil. I won't be taking any trades because I can't take any trades now until after the speech, which is in 2.5 hours. Then after that, I can give you the levels. We'll go through the levels we're looking at, but we can't take really any, we shouldn't be taking any trades ahead of that announcement. But I will talk you through our analysis on that. Also, with regard to oil, we have seen oil prices decline over this week. Oil fell on Friday. It was set for its largest weekly decline in a month after the Saudi energy minister called expectations that top producers might agree next month to curb crude output. We also saw the crude oil inventories come out this week, which were at, they rose by 2.5 million barrels compared with expectations for a decrease of 455,000 barrels. That was on Wednesday, and that did cause the price of oil to pull back. In fact, oil is getting back to our zone where we would like to re-enter in for a buy, but we just need to wait for a bit of confirmation here. We've seen the price of crude oil fall by more than 3% over the course of this week, putting it on course for its largest one-week slide in a month. But we have to bear in mind the fact that oil moved over 23% to the upside over the month of August. It's had an incredible surge. It got very overbought, and it was due a corrective pullback. Now, some dates for the diary for you as we go into September. You want to have the OPEC meeting is happening over the 26th to the 28th of September. Over those 3 days, we could get some volatility for oil. They will be discussing the potential for a freeze of oil. Essentially, Saudi Arabia, they wanted the price to get back up to $50 per barrel. They've achieved that in the short term. UK oil is currently at $49.57. We saw US oil come up to that level just last week, $50 per barrel. We're just sort of consolidating right now between 45 to 50. So we will have a look at that on the charts as well. So what I'll do, actually before I go over to the chart, I'll just mention our top trade this week, our portfolio performance using our exclusive research-driven strategies, utilizing binary.com has been a very straightforward sell short opportunity at the beginning of the week. Brent crude oil got into quite an overbought condition, formed a doji at the $50 per barrel level. Once it broke through 49.90, very simple trade, price to be lower, cracked below that, it's continued to trade below that level throughout most of this week. So a nice simple trade opportunity on binary.com. What is the difference between binary and possibly an MT4 platform? The main change here in terms of the way that you utilize the binary.com platform is that all you need to do when you take a binary trade is you need to predict the direction of the market, the time frame, and the price just needs to close one point in the direction that you predict. So you don't need to get a massive risk to reward. You don't need to worry about a stop loss or a profit target. So it's a good, great additional tool to have in your trader toolbox. And very simply, if you select higher, you win the payout. If the market exit price is strictly higher than the entry price, and if you select lower, you win the payout if the market exit price is strictly lower than the entry price. So remember, again, all you need to get right is the following. Entry price, so you need to get a good price when we're getting into a market, whether we're buying or we're selling. The direction of that market, of course, is then the next criteria. You want to know whether that market is likely to go up or down, and the time frame. So whether you want that to go up or down over an hour, a day, a week, that is the next criteria. You get those 3 points correct, and you've got a winning trade. So with that, we'll have a look at the technicals, guys. We'll move over to the charts. As always, feel free to keep the questions coming as we go through our analysis here. And let me just bring you out. First of all, let's take a look at gold here, and of course feel free to put any questions in the chat. Let me just make sure I've got that available so I can see. Okay, super. Right, so let's do a screen share. Okay, good. You should be able to see my screen now, guys. I'm just on gold at the moment. Yeah, perfect. Okay, super. Right, so let's get into it and have a look at the overall price structure of gold right now. So gold, we are, you can see right off the bat here, we've got a very key, we've got a trend channel which we have been supported back to June. So this was after Brexit. In fact, if we put a horizontal level, it's worth noting gold closed at the breakout from the Brexit. We had a spike all the way up to $1,358 US. So for those of you who are up during the early hours, or depending on where you were in the world during Brexit, we saw an incredible move on gold following on from that. So we essentially saw it dip lower below the 50 MA, and then we broke out 1,000 points from that low. Now, another point to note at the moment is we have closed below the 50-day moving average earlier on this week, but we haven't stayed below it very long throughout most of this year through the bull market that we've been in with gold. So gold, remember, gold in the higher time frames, gold is still up over 25% in 2016. It is still one of the best performing commodities this year, also alongside markets such as sugar and silver. So bear that in mind, that we are definitely in a bull market in gold. Still, the price structure hasn't really changed much. We've had a corrective pullback over the last week, and a lot of speculation is regarding the Federal Reserve speech today that Janet Yellen is going to have a hawkish stance. So what does that mean? Essentially, there's a lot of speculation that Janet Yellen is going to suggest that the US economy is in a strong enough position to go ahead and potentially increase interest rates in September or December. That is what a lot of the speculation is about at the moment, that the US economy can withstand that. Now, they don't have to go ahead with an interest rate hike in order to cause the markets to move. They just have to suggest it, or suggest that they're in a position to do so, and that could have a big impact. So there's been a lot of speculation this week that that's what will happen. Now, where you need to look at this a little bit more closely is that seems to have been, to a certain degree, it's getting priced into the market already. So we've seen gold break down, silver break down this week, and what you often see is sell the rumor, and then when the news actually comes out and just confirms that, you will just get traders buying off the back of that. They expected that to happen anyway, and you could see a nice lift up in price here, just based on the fact that that's what they expected to happen anyway, and you could see a lift. Now, what would be interesting is if we have a dovish stance from Janet Yellen, and she's actually very neutral about interest rates, and she doesn't mention it, or doesn't actually give any confirmation as to whether the Federal Reserve is in a position to increase interest rates in September or December, in which case we could actually see gold have quite a significant move to the upside. We could actually see it fly back towards its resistance, which is sitting around 1360, and if it can break above that level as we go into next week as well, that could be quite interesting. We're just ricocheting between the 1315 zone, you've got 1360 at the moment, and we're just moving between these levels, and we are at a point here where we could easily rotate higher, and then we would break out to the upside here. That would, in our opinion, would be our preferred move here with gold, because that offers a really nice risk to reward, good upside potential. Overall trend is in our favor. The market sentiment is a little bit oversold at the moment. That would be a nice trading opportunity, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Now, on the flip side of that, if we do see negative comments negative comments which will be on the negative for the precious metals and positive for the dollar, if we were to see a wild card, if we were to see a statement which is very hawkish, which would be essentially confirming that we might be having an interest rate hike in September or December, or just giving more details on that, that is where we could see the US dollar, which you need to watch out for at the moment, break out to the upside. And with that, you could then see gold, silver potentially crack through support here. And that is what is concerning a lot of investors and traders at the moment, is that that could happen. And if we did break below, let's say, the 1300 zone for gold, it could cause a shakeout. Stop losses would get triggered, and we could see a bigger move to the downside. So there is some downside risk at the moment, and that's got traders cautious, and that's why at the moment it is better to hold off on the sidelines. Overall probability is in the favor of the longs here, or the bulls right now. They've got the technical advantage. Major supportive zones have been supported at this point, and we're starting to develop some good momentum going into that speech at the moment. We're around 1326 right now. Gold's in an oversold condition, so is silver. It could bode well for a really nice catalyst for a strong leg higher here, but we need to just wait to get that speech out of the way. So hopefully that gives you a better view of the technicals, where we're sat in the context of the technicals right now. Also, what could happen is that you get a bear trap. What do I mean by that? Well, a bear trap means essentially the market drops down quickly, so you could see a breakdown in price, you could see stop losses get taken out, and very quickly it gets bid back up again. So it's just a cleaning out of the longs, really. You see a bit of a tree shake of positions here. You break below 1300, possibly shoot down to 1297. From that zone, you've got a 100-day moving average there as well. You hit that level, then you very quickly you shoot back up again. Investors' buy orders get put back into the market, and then you close with a hammer. That forms essentially a bear trap, where traders who've got into a short positions there, or they've been stopped out, the market then turns around, forms a rejection candle into the close, and then next week the market gets going to the upside as well. So that is also something to bear in mind. Sometimes technical levels do need to get breached. They just get overshot to the downside, and then they completely reverse, and then we could see another leg up as well. So that's also a scenario we are considering. We will be watching gold very closely over the course of the speech. Now, gold and silver tend to be the best movers on FOMC statements, on Federal Reserve speeches, Janet Yellen. There's been a lot of comments that possibly the speech will be a non-event. If you've seen how the markets move when Janet Yellen speaks, it's unlikely. If you look at the volatility that you normally get on Janet Yellen speeches, usually the markets do move, especially considering we've had quite a fairly quiet week across the whole markets this week, equities as well as forex, and also commodities. There's a lot of traders who are anticipating this to be a big move, and they base their trading decisions into the close today and next week off what this speech essentially confirms. So bear that in mind, guys. And with that, we can't take a new position right now, but you can certainly get ready for that this afternoon. You can be looking at these technical levels, and I would definitely have have your charts in front of you for that at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, silver. Silver is also looking very interesting to me right now. Silver is in an oversold condition. It has pulled back a little bit. It's actually given back some of its gains following on from Brexit. So initially, if you look at where we were sitting on Brexit, we were sitting at $17. Now, on the back of that, we broke out to the upside to $18.30. We then pulled back again, consolidated, and then into July, we had a huge capitulation to the upside. So this move here was about 17% move over 3 sessions. Incredible move to the upside here. Came up to 21, broken close above $18. Now, we've pulled back recently. It's been consolidating, holding on to a lot of those gains. We're still holding on to the breakout zone from Brexit. What I'm looking at here is ultimately this level right now between 1850 to 1870. Very interested to see if we get a move back above $19 here. So you have to remember as well, silver has been up 46% in 2016. It's been the best performing commodity this year. And a lot of traders, investors, they're looking to add to a position on silver. And this could be quite a nice opportunity. It's pulled back almost $3, which is quite significant from the highs there that it formed after Brexit. It's been a good opportunity for some traders, investors to load up. Obviously, a lot of traders, speculators will be waiting, hedge funds also, for the Janet Yellen speech to get out of the way before they add to positions. Now, again, you do have some downside risk here. We could shoot lower. We could see silver get down to 1830, Fibonacci level, below that $18, and even as low as 1740. So for that reason, if it does shoot lower, it could offer a better buying opportunity. You do also have some other trend channels in place here, which might get tested around 1740 zone if we just saw this level get overshot. Also, we could just find support here and shoot higher from this point onwards. So we have a level of support right now around the 1850 zone, which is providing support in the short term for silver. Nothing to write home about at the moment, but it is finding support around that zone. Again, what I would do, I would wait for the speech this afternoon, see how the US dollar is looking, see if gold and silver get supported. If they do, we could get some quite explosive moves to the upside. If we do see a breakdown in price, it could be short-lived as we go into next week. We've got non-farm payrolls next Friday, which typically provides quite explosive moves for commodities. We've got a lot of news coming out over the month of September, which is likely to cause volatility. It's likely to increase uncertainty. It's likely to increase fear in the market. With fear in the market increasing, that often puts the VIX, the volatility index, into a position where it starts to go up, and with that often you can see supportive moves on the metals. This pullback at the moment is a little bit overdone on gold and silver, but we'll have to see what the results of today's speech are. What you might get as well is if we do see gold and silver pull back today and they do break down, what you could see is a buyback next week on Monday. So it's just something to bear in mind, that often if you do see quite a bearish move into the close on Friday, then you could see a buyback next week on Monday. You might get traders just looking to bargain hunt as they come back. Monday, there's a lot of traders on vacation at the moment, on their holidays. It's still peak season for a lot of funds and so forth to be on holiday right now, especially given that it is a bank holiday weekend. So just bear that in mind. But right now, I like what gold and silver are doing. So watch that very closely this afternoon. Now, if we move over and have a look at oil. So oil, I like the pullback it's had recently. So we did get this move off the 50% Fibonacci level from the lows of January down to the highs of June. We pulled back 50%. We've since had a 23% move to the upside. We pulled back very close to the 46 zone. I like this consolidation. What I'm looking actually for a buying opportunity on oil. I'm also waiting to get the FOMC minutes out of the way. Not the minutes, excuse me, the speech by Janet Yellen out of the way this afternoon, but I do see the potential for a breakout trade here on oil to the upside here. Just need to be a bit wary that right now we could see some volatility, but ultimately looking for a breakout coming back towards the upper end of this channel. Now, we've had a mixture of news items this week. The oil inventories have shown there's been a significant oversupply, which has been bearish, but still comments regarding the OPEC meeting in September. We're seeing mixed comments about that. Every time we're seeing more optimism for a freeze in output, that causes oil to go up and vice versa. So we're kind of consolidating at this level at the moment. I need a little bit more confirmation before we can get long for the next leg up higher here, but we are watching this quite closely at the moment for oil. So just have that on your radar too. Now, if we go over to platinum and palladium, both of these markets look interesting. Palladium hasn't really pulled back too much. If you remember, over the month of August, palladium broke out to 14-month highs. This move to the upside was a 7% move in one day. That's quite significant. And then we've just consolidated at this Fibonacci level, the 23.6 retracement level, just consolidating. Again, what we might see here, this might be a bull flag formation where we see a breakout above the resistance here. We just pull back in the short term, then we might break out higher here for the next run up higher. So I do like the potential for that on palladium. Platinum as well had a corrected pullback. Platinum and silver have been the weaker of the metals over the last week. You can see platinum is coming actually into a major zone of support. It just overshot the 50-day moving average, but it's getting back above that with retesting it at the moment. Again, what I would suggest is that we could just have, again, another bull flag formation here. Platinum likes to cause to do these sort of pullbacks where it looks like it's about to correct, but in fact all it is a bull flag formation. It's getting ready for the next leg up. Case in point, we've formed a lot of these over this year's breakouts. These bull flag formations where it essentially tricks the bears out there to get into a sell position, and then the market, all it does is it breaks back up again. We've had quite a few of these. This is quite common actually. You'll see this on the platinum market. So I suspect this could just be another bull flag formation. Let me just draw that on the chart. I'm sure most of you are aware what a bull flag formation is. If not, just do a quick Google search and you will see exactly what it is. Okay, so this is where you essentially have a run up higher. You create a bull flag, okay, so you have a run up higher, you pull back, but you don't take out or close below the previous swing low, and then you run up again, take out the trend channel, and then essentially take out the swing high ultimately. So we see that quite a lot in the markets for the precious metals. So just bear that in mind, and I would watch this quite carefully because the base metals as well, palladium, can offer some good upside potential. So I think today's going to be an important day. We've had some nice corrected pullbacks over the last week or two here, where if you've been able to stay on the sidelines a bit, you're not overexposed at the moment, and you've got some capital available to take these trades, we could have some quite nice moves on platinum, palladium, gold, silver into the close today or into next week. They've had pullbacks, corrected pullbacks, where they're actually primed for the next leg higher if we get that confirmation on the speech this afternoon. So let me move it back to gold. If there's any questions on gold, guys, do put those into the chat at the moment. I'll tell you what I do. I'll try and break it down for you just into a few different time frames. We can see what's going on multiple chart time frames here. We'll get a raw chart going. Let's put that into a tighter time frame here. Yeah, okay, so you can see here we're sort of basing on the lower time frames at the moment. Overall sentiment this morning, I mean, that at the moment that is encouraging, that we've managed to build up some ground from yesterday's lows, which were at 13.17, so we're off those lows by about 100 points, 13.27. You can see where over the course of the Asia Pacific session and the London session this morning, we're starting to see a bit of a basing formation here on some of the lower time frames, which is encouraging. We'll start to build it up. 1 hour time frame, you can see rejection starting to build up, bit of a neckline overhead. Let's just go up into the 4 hour time frame, rejection candle, V-shaped reversal pattern. You can see here quite clearly, you're just within a support and resistance channel. Just draw on another channel here, which is underlying support, and you'll see actually traders have got quite clearly buying off this supportive zone. You've got horizontal support, a trend channel in place at the moment. So we'll see whether we do get a full-on breakout. There's some traders where you could just be capitalizing on a short-term move ahead of the speech here. What is probably quite likely is that we could just ricochet over the course of the speech. You can get some volatility, but we want to see after the dust settles today where gold is sat, because we could get quite a good move higher here, back up towards the upper end of the trend channel. It's in an oversold condition right now, and we might just see it just rotate back from 13.17 back towards 1360 level. The more times that we can test this resistance level, the more likely it is to break. So if we get another move towards that level, and as we go into next week, if we retest the 1360 zone, we could get ready for lift off higher. The underlying risk is at the moment that if we break below 1317, break below 1310 and close below 1300, that of course would change the price structure in the short term. But right now we've got a lot of underlying support. So gold for me, it's definitely going to be a key market to watch today, guys. Good. So with that, as I mentioned, in terms of trades, we will be taking trades most likely over the course of the speech or just after the speech from the overall sentiment of the market that we will see following on from that, and of course into next week we're likely to build additional setups here as well. So let me take you back to the main presentation. Just hold on 1 second. Okay, good. And right, just on that, actually, just real quick, guys. So in terms of today's announcement, just what time is that? It's 3 o'clock London time. Okay, so it's literally in 2 hours. So we're bound to get some big moves in about 2 hours' time. Currently, gold is trading at $1,328. And as always, if you would like access to our trade setups, our trade ideas shared with you, ready to implement, very simply, all you need to do is go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. Complete the application form and we will get in touch with you ASAP. You'll get exclusive access to our private members live trading room. Okay, so it's www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. And just in terms of what you actually get as part of a member of the Gold and Silver Club, you get access to the following, okay? And who's it for? Well, whether you're a new trader and you want to develop a solid understanding of the markets, fast track your results rather than doing all the hard work yourself, you can absolutely fast track all of your learning by being a part of the Gold and Silver Club. Or even if you do have experience as a trader, but you really want to take that experience to the next level, the private members live trading room is definitely something which you should look at here. So essentially, as a member, you get access to the following. You get live trading room webinars throughout the week. You can watch the Gold and Silver Club expert traders analyze the commodity markets right in front of you, picking out highly profitable trade setups, share exact entry, exit points, profits, stop loss targets, as well as walk you through live trade ideas ready to implement. You get all the notifications on those, so trade notifications by email, SMS, alerting you when to enter a trade. All notifications include details of where to enter, exit, stop loss, take profit. Trade setups are sent out to you in advance to ensure you have plenty of time to get into every position at the best price to maximize your profits. And also you get access to our commodity research and market insights. So you get exclusive access to our proprietary trading research, market insights to help you boost your win rate and ensure you are on the right side of the trade. So our trading research is really there to give you the ultimate edge in the commodity markets and fast track your results. So again, if you would like access to that, you get the following: exclusive weekly live trading room webinars, live trade setups ready to implement for instant results, real-time trade notifications by email and SMS so you don't miss any profitable trades, exact details of where to enter, exit on each of the trade, weekly trading plan with a watch list of our trades for the week ahead, live trade support to help you successfully through each trade, and institutional level trading research and commodity insights to give you the edge in the markets. So to get exclusive access to our private members live trading room, again, you just need to go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, complete the application form, and we will get in touch with you ASAP. Okay, fantastic. So in terms of the US session this afternoon, again, 2 hours time, guys, the speech by Janet Yellen will be a big market mover. Very simply, if you want to watch that, you could just go, for example, just Google Bloomberg TV as an example, and you can watch it live on there. You should be able to see Janet Yellen doing the speech from 3 o'clock onwards, guys. That will cause a lot of market volatility. We can watch that real time and see what sort of impact that has on the market. There should be some good trading opportunities off the back of that. Okay, fantastic. Great stuff. So I don't think there's any more questions at the moment. And yeah, so with that, guys, I wish you, as always, good trading. Have a fantastic weekend. All the best. And of course, I very much look forward to hear from those of you who will be making an application and joining us at the Gold and Silver Club. Okay, thanks, guys. All the best. Take care. Speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.